Welcome back. This is Fantastic Pains and How We Hide Them. I'm not Chris.
And I'm not Karina.
But we're here together.
Finally.
Together. After 2 weeks of nonsense.
It's almost 3 weeks of nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't make a video last week.
Yep.
Because we derped.
Yep.
As in I got sick, really ill after the live.
Yeah.
Really quickly, too. But
yes.
We'll get into that.
He got what I got.
How? Oh, boy.
I'm sorry.
She gave it to me and I couldn't handle it.
It's because I literally saw you right before I got sick.
Yeah.
And then I got really sick really fast. So,
yeah.
Oops.
So, yeah. But we're back.
Yeah.
Hi. Missed you guys.
Yeah. For more fun stuff. My brain is not working with my mouth today, so we're going to try really hard. If this is your very first time, welcome. This is our podcast/YouTube channel about life with chronic and invisible conditions, including mental health.
Mental health.
Mental health.
Mental health.
Including mental health. Many other conditions as well.
Yeah. If you guys are watching, you can listen to us on all podcast platforms except Apple at the moment. We're still working on it. We're going to get that.
Indeed.
And
then if you're listening and you'd like to watch, because it does get silly, we are siblings, you can find us on YouTube and you can find us on TikTok under Fantastic Pains.
You can also join us on our Discord or our website.
Indeed.
Where we do a lot of our episode planning or just reaching out and talking to people.
Yeah, for sure.
And we want people to feel free to contact us.
Yeah. Leave comments.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The feedback is great. And the community is amazing. You
Absolutely.
guys have killed it.
Oh, always. Yeah. We have something to celebrate today.
Oh, yes. Yes, we do. We broke the 200 sub mark.
Yeah.
We've been circling it for like 2 months.
Yeah.
We got real close and then it just we're like, nope.
Yep. We would like gain 1, lose 1, gain 2, lose 1. And then it just kind of sat around. And then very quickly, actually, we hit that 200 mark.
So yeah.
Welcome to our new friends. And thank you very much to everybody.
Hopefully you can stick around and get something out of it.
Yeah, for sure. So today's going to be an interesting one because we're going to kind of reflect.
Yeah. It's retrospective time. We're going to talk about what we've kind of gained from the podcast.
Yeah. And
then kind of go through the small history.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Little bits.
But first, it is time for the 2-weekly recap.
Check in. 2 weeks.
It's been a while, and I don't remember time. So.
No. Well, and the time we had was crazy.
Yes, absolutely. So, oh God. So last week, I got really sick right before.
Right. So like the very beginning of the week you were.
So I got sick on, I think it was Wednesday, and I was out of work Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
And then we didn't do a live because I was still sick. And then we came in on Saturday to shoot.
We did the
live. Got
live.
through the live, and then you got really sick.
Oh yeah, like quickly and violently.
Yes.
I was like, oh, I'm not feeling great, and then 10 minutes later, I was like, I'm dying.
Yeah, it was not good.
It hit me hard, and it was like a vomiting fit too.
Yeah.
So I got to do that for 3 days, and then I was running mad fevers, like having crazy fever dreams and hallucinating because I wasn't sleeping, and it was a week. It feels like it was a lot longer.
Yeah.
Like it just dragged on and on. And then like I felt guilty because we didn't do the podcast stuff. So it kept bothering me. I was like, ugh.
I felt bad because I was like, I'm the reason we haven't done a live on Friday for 2 weeks.
Oh, well.
But I'm glad we got to do our live last week.
Yeah.
So that was good. And then this week, I went on a trip. In my favorite rocket ship. Yeah, no, I went to California to visit a couple other big picture schools. So we left Wednesday evening and got back, basically it was Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So we got in right around midnight Saturday.
Well, and our original plan was that you would get in Friday and then sleep.
Yep.
Get like, you know, maybe do a late start.
Been fine, yeah.
And then we were going to do live and then record.
Yep.
And then, no. I was going to I was like, I'll just do a live with Sophie and Jen, which will be fun. Nope. I couldn't get going.
Yeah.
I was fatigued.
I was asleep. I slept So I went to sleep around 2:00 ish because I had a hard time like bringing myself back down.
Yeah.
To be able to go to sleep. So I went to sleep around 2:00, and then I woke up around 2:00.
Yep.
In the afternoon, Saturday, and was just like, oh my God, what is happening?
Mm-hmm.
And then I took a nap and slept until like 8 p.m.
Yeah, which is funny because that's what happened to me. I literally woke up, messaged her, and she was like, oh, I just woke up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, me too.
Both times. It was great. So we got some sleep yesterday.
We needed it.
Yeah.
I was still catching up for being sick, honestly. My sleep schedule was ruined, and I hadn't been sleeping.
Right.
Like I was telling you before, I was having very vivid hallucinations, like not just like seeing random lights. It was like I was seeing fuzzy monsters. It was bizarre.
You had tribbles.
Pretty much. That's what it looked like. What are those, like sea spiders?
Oh.
Yeah, but it was like wire. They weren't wiry. They were fuzzy, and they were just moving around.
Ugh.
It was because I hadn't slept. I was running fevers. Hadn't eaten.
Right.
I didn't. I was.
Yeah.
It was in a bad way.
After being sick, I don't think I ate for like 3 days after I was feeling better.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I had 2 meals in like 5 days.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yep.
And then traveling, oh my God, just took it out of me. Because I dislocated my hip the day before I was supposed to leave. And then that threw out the other hip. And then it was just a series of unfortunate dislocations.
And your trip wasn't like a normal trip where it's like fly out, get your motel, go to place and do whatever conferencey stuff, go to bed, wake up, go to the same conferencey thing. Yeah. No, yours was like go to school, go to the hotel, take a train, go to the next hotel, then go to this other school, but then go to this other school.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
And then get on a plane.
Right.
So we did not have any downtime. It was just boom, 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 boom.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so hard because I'm like trying to keep up because I don't want to be a pain in the butt for my coworker either. And she was very sweet, helped me with my luggage a lot because traveling while chronically ill, you take more bags.
You do. That's just a fact.
So I felt like I had packed for like a week, but it was just... Ugh.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it was like cold and rainy the whole time we were there.
Oh yeah, you missed.
Which is fine because it like was really cold here.
Oh yeah, no, it messed me up. It was so cold.
Yeah.
Like, I totally forgot about that because I was in the middle of my fevers. But imagine like my room, we didn't have the AC on, we had the fan on, but it was still getting cold from the window because we didn't close the AC window part, whatever. And I was sweating.
Oh.
And I had both of the fuzzy blankets on me. Oh, no. And I was freezing to death and I was sweating.
Oh no.
It was horrendous. And I was just soaked in this tomb of ice.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Not good.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I did not enjoy being sick. That was horrendous.
Well, and it was like the worst sickness we've both had in like a long time.
Oh my God, that was like, not since childhood have I been that just viscerally ill.
Yeah.
Like I slept on the bathroom floor, and then the next day I like chanced eating something, and then it started all over again. It was just bad. It was really bad. Did not enjoy.
TLDR.
Yeah.
We got really sick, and we missed an episode.
Yep.
And we're sorry.
Oopsies.
I mean, genuinely.
You, and we're here, and we're back, and hopefully it'll be easier now.
Well, it's definitely better than it was.
Yes.
So, and we get to celebrate.
Yeah, which is so exciting. We finally hit our 200 mark, and now we get to kind of reflect on what's going on and how it's different from when we started.
Yeah, and what we're gonna do maybe.
Yeah.
Like things that we're interested in.
Yeah. Get
your feedback. See what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, but before we dive in, I wanted to update you guys because I know we've been talking about the low dose naltrexone for a while.
The adventure.
So I had my pain management visit the week before I left. So it was our missed episode is where it would have been. And we were talking about, because I fully dislocated my wrist that week, which was
that the bucket?
Awful. Yeah. So I picked it up like this, pulled it out of the sink, went to bring it down, and my whole wrist just gave out.
Yep.
And hyperextended and was just gone. And I was like, I've never lost my entire wrist before.
Right.
What do I do? That was great.
What do I do?
Yeah. And so I was telling my pain management doctor about this and walking around on dislocated ankles that take turns and are horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "Oh, well, that's not chronic pain. That's acute pain." And I was like, "Yeah. That's all the time, constantly."
It's
and
chronic acute.
Yeah, exactly. And she was just like, "Okay, well, low-dose naltrexone won't help with acute pain. And you can't take pain meds while you're on it. So,
yeah.
I don't know what you want to do there." And then it was funny just because
she finally caught up to what you've been saying before.
Exactly.
It's I don't know what block you passed or what you said or what snapped, and she's like, "Oh no, like this is gonna like not be great."
Just continual injuries. It's not just like this hurts and it hurts all the time. It's like everything hurts all the time, but they all take turns.
Right. We've talked about it before, trying to convey that to doctors.
Yeah.
It's you have a chronic condition that is acute pain.
Yes.
It's not like I have a back injury from when I played football or something.
Right.
It's literally today, on today's list, we've dislocated 4 things.
Yep.
They're going to be swollen tomorrow, but you're going to dislocate something else tomorrow.
Yes. Always.
Yeah.
All the time. So she was just like, low dose is not going to help with that. And you're not on a high dose of medication.
Right.
And I mean, I think as long as you're not on a high dose, it's fine. So she totally backpedaled.
Yeah.
And was like, we're not going to do low dose naltrexone. So we have a tentative plan to maybe try it in the summer when it's less high stakes.
Yeah.
With work and all that.
Well, the cold will be gone. It'll be summer. You'll have time.
So we'll see.
It'll be good too. I mean, you'll be able to, I think, diary it better.
Yeah.
Like journal what's going on.
Right.
Chronicle
keep track of things.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But currently, we're not making the switch.
For now.
That's interesting.
Which is probably for the best.
Yeah. It's just funny that she finally caught up to it. And I was like, this is what I've been saying.
I'm happy that she was like, you're not on a high dose. Like, you're not a risk.
Right.
Like, that's...
Like, I have been doing this for a while.
That's some validation that you need.
It's fine. Right. Instead of the, like, addict treatment all the time.
Well, and the addict treatment we give ourselves just for being on them.
The, like, constant panic and checking in with yourself and making sure that you're not addicted. Like, can I go 7 days without it? Yes. Was it a good idea? No.
Imagine that there are 2 people, right? There's you, and then there's like reality, and you're bothering reality all the time. You're like, hey, am I addicted now? And like, dude, you asked me yesterday. Like, you're fine. And you're like, but I took one this morning. Like, am I addicted now? Is this addiction? And he's like, no, just could you go about your business? You're like, but I might be addicted.
Did I do a drug addict now?
Right. I mean, we're just harsh on ourselves. It's a fear. I mean, it's a legit fear.
It's like, it's a complex.
Well, yeah, well, it is, because you have dependence after so long, and then you have addiction, and when it's written down,
play the game of like back and forth.
I hate the way that the wording of it all works, because it's interpreted by whatever bias they have. Like if you're in an ER and they're like looking at your thing and it says that you're a dependent on it, like you have an opioid dependency. It's like, oh, he's an addict. It's like, no, it's not.
That's not what that means.
But that's how you're perceiving it.
That means that they have a dose that they should be on, and it's constant, and therefore, if you take them off of it, their body
reaction.
Is gonna freak out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what dependent means.
Yeah.
There you go.
But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's just good that you had a good visit. Yeah. I got to see David, and he was very sweet.
Yeah. He always is.
I love David.
He's cute.
He was a good switch.
Yeah.
Like if I was gonna go from anyone from where I was, like,
right.
I'm glad we chose him.
Well, it's like we were saying that like bad things can open the door for good things.
Oh yeah, that's how I always view it. Like change is not necessarily bad. Right.
It's just transitional, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So we get there. Oche, how do we want to proceed? So we've made our 201 actually.
Yeah.
We have 201 trash pandas, which is amazing.
Yeah, and for the newbies, you're a trash panda now.
Yeah.
That's our community.
We're not
raccoons.
zebras. We're trash pandas.
Close enough.
Because dumpster fire?
Yeah.
It's still stripes. It's fine. Yeah. Trash pandas.
Trash panda, of course. Right. It's the only thing that makes sense, okay?
Yes. Am I ever not a disaster? No.
I am a
trash panda.
Yeah.
Okay. Where should we start? So we have a couple different kind of notes here, and then we'll just go through conversation about it. So one being kind of what the podcast has taught us, or what we learned through the podcast.
Yeah, what we kind of gained through it. Yeah. Because, oh boy, even today we were going through our like old TikToks, and the we are not the same people.
No.
It's ridiculous. It's like we had a framework of people that we could be.
Right.
And then now we've kind of progressed into self-aware wolves.
Self-aware wolves. Yes.
I mean, that's how
we had the superpower, but we didn't have the like wherewithal to hone it in.
Right. No, it's like every episode was we were sharpening our skills, right? We were verbally going over things, we were reiterating things to ourselves.
Right.
And then just the self-discovery that we had in our conversations alone has been
right.
Like I don't think we've ever really talked about that. Just that we'll sit down and talk and be like, oh, wait a minute. Holy God, there's a whole complex here, guys. Did you know? Why don't you tell me?
I found this. What is this?
Oh yeah, you've had a fish complex
for
years.
This?
Like, I didn't know. Oh no, we avoid fish now because of it. Nobody told me.
For years now.
Exactly.
I didn't know. I don't know.
You weren't ready
the whole time. Oh my God. Where do you want to start? There's so much.
Well, I'm going to think back to like the first episode and how awkward we were. Because first off, we've gotten way more comfortable.
Yes.
Like.
No, that's for sure.
It's I always wondered when I would watch YouTubers before, like, how do you get used to talking to a camera? Like what? There's no one there, but now it's natural. It's like, oh, hi, hey, what's up, guys?
Well, and I think it's different too, because our first episode and our first few episodes, because we shot them in like clusters.
Yeah.
We didn't have anyone on the other end.
No.
We didn't know who would be on the other end,
or if there would be anyone.
Exactly.
Besides, like our friends and family that would.
Yeah, and even then, that was super awkward.
Yeah.
I think more awkward than like talking to a stranger.
Yes, I think I would have been more comfortable had it would just been strangers.
Yeah.
Because then there's no like real world connection,
crossover,
right? You're not like, oh, I learned something about you, and now I'm going to talk to you about it.
I can't look at you the same way.
Right. None of that. We did it though. I mean, like the way we plan out our episodes too. So like before we would try and at the very beginning we would try and write out like outlines of like what we're going to do and exactly how we're going to do it. And then we quickly learned, like after 2 recording apps, that we were like,
this isn't the right way.
We just
flow. Like, we tried to do topics in silos almost.
Yes.
Like, whereas now our episodes almost flow into each other because it's what's relevant in life.
Yeah.
And it's like things that we're discovering or rethinking already. Like, it's just, they all kind of go together.
Yeah. It's like I said 2 weeks ago, we have like arcs now. Like just thought arcs, but and we were gonna last week we were gonna have a really good episode that like wound up a whole bunch of thoughts. If we tried to do it today, I couldn't.
No, not today.
Not I don't think I could go back to it.
Maybe to revisit on a different time, but we'd have to forget about it first.
That's the problem too, is I'm in the in-between. Like I kind of remember, but I don't. Like I'd have to rewatch the episodes, to get back into the flow. It's a thing.
That's fair.
but
it's totally different now because we'll get like this loose idea of a topic or like where we want to start with something, and that turns into the conversations in between. Yeah. And the discoveries we make through those conversations and invitation to participate as we go through.
Well, that's my favorite. My favorite is when we do like the lives and then someone will say something and everyone goes, oh yeah, no, that this week I've been, and we're like, okay, yeah, that's
perfect. We're going to do that.
About. Yeah.
Right. So even planning, we don't stress it nearly as much and it comes out better.
Right.
So.
Well, yeah, I think there was a lot of pressure in the beginning too, to like just make it work.
Right. Cause
and we had
like,
no idea.
Do we talk about just EDS?
Right.
Where like we didn't want to step on anybody's toes, I guess, in a way.
We were babies.
Yeah.
You didn't know. I in the notes we have here, we're like, what about your self-image or your self-betterment? Like, dude, my self-image has improved tenfold.
Oh my God, just your self-talk has improved 100 times. It's amazing.
My growth is ridiculous. I'm kind of amazing. No, it's been drastic.
Grown a lot. Yeah.
I've grown a ton throughout the episodes.
Yeah.
And interacting with people, I think, helps a lot.
Right.
A little community.
Finding out that we were not the only people who were looking for what we were looking for.
Right.
And that was a big one, was we had this loose idea because we were like, nobody has this. Nobody has done this. We've looked for this. We can't find this.
Mm-hmm.
We want something that's real talk, not clinical.
Right.
And it doesn't exist for our little niche here.
Right.
And like you were saying before, we're niche in niche.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like medical talk is totally different. And then you come over and shrink it just a little bit further.
Yeah, the scope. I mean, we're broader than we were in the beginning, for sure.
Oh, but... absolutely. Well, and we're more confident being that broad, too. Because before it was like...
I remember that.
Like I said, we didn't want to step on toes or misrepresent something.
Exactly. Well, we still do. Like, if we have a thing we want to talk about and we haven't experienced it, we'll find someone who has.
Well, but in the beginning, we didn't trust our own experience
of it. God, no.
And so we weren't even willing to talk on that necessarily, because we're like, but what if we... What if the way we think isn't like acceptable, or what
totally.
people want to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, exactly. There was like, we were very tepid and trepidatious about like I don't want to. This happened to me, but
ruffle any feathers.
Right. It wasn't bad. That time that I got beaten up by a bunch of hobos, it was fine. You know what? It never happened.
Never happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it was totally different. And even just our willingness and ability to claim the labels that we have now.
Yeah.
Because before, I think, me specifically, I was like anti-label, doing it. Forget that.
The Vizzy episode was amazing.
Yeah. And I was like, I will not be reduced to a label.
Right.
I will not be reduced to this thing. Like, that's not it. That doesn't cover it. That doesn't embody it.
Mm-hmm.
But then learning that the labels can help you communicate those pieces to other people,
right,
more, I don't know, more efficiently.
Well, what it was is
filling in the blanks afterward.
We were using labels, or the labels were being used by people who are normal, like healthy, and they as a way to like put us down almost. It felt that way.
It felt like a reduction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when we're talking to people who are going through the same stuff, it's so much easier to just be like, oh, I have this. I consider myself this. And like, then you can relate.
Yeah.
Like, it's a tool.
Right.
I just remember the realization you had when Lizzie was talking about it, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah. The like, they're tools, not... Because in our lives, just in general, up until that point, labels as a whole had been used almost in this, like, weaponized fashion.
Oh, yeah, by doctors and
other people, just in general. Like, they weren't, and it felt wrong to be able to claim something either, because either lacking a full diagnosis or questioning ourselves, and that, like, self-doubt was everywhere. Or like, I don't even know, like, I have a diagnosis, but I still am like, I don't know if I'm allowed to do the
can I be this? Am I allowed to say this about myself?
Am I bad enough to, like, talk about it? Other people have it worse, but
Yep. Gotta remember that.
And then just the imposter syndrome of it all.
Yeah, wow, we got through that.
Yeah,
I think like year one is like getting over imposter syndrome was most of that, because I don't encounter that anymore.
No, not as much.
I'll get like the feeling of like, you know,
like it'll pop up every once in a while,
right?
But even you identify it quickly, and then you're like, oh, that's what that is.
Okay, so taking the podcast to like how it affected my like outside life, I can go and talk to doctors now and feel perfectly fine explaining everything and stating what I have. Yeah. Instead of being like, well, it's this. I don't know if you know about this, and then kind of like, right. You know what I mean? Like, here, have this. I don't it's, you know what? Get rid of that.
Never mind. I take it all back. I'm not here.
Like, now I can go to my doctors and be like, okay, I need this. This is what's going on with me. I feel confident in doing it. And that's just from the podcast and talking through everything. Right. And knowing that not all doctors are evil. That was a big part of it.
Yes. And knowing that, like, doctor shop, dude, there's no shame in it. Do it, because that is a person who's supposed to be performing a service for you. And if they're not performing the service for you, go find somebody else.
Right.
And I don't mean that as in like, oh, they won't make the diagnosis that I want to have.
Exactly.
Like, no, find someone who will investigate, find someone who will communicate with you, and find someone who's going to be empathetic with you.
Yeah.
It's
a team. It's a team.
Exactly.
Like, you're building a team. You want to work with someone, not have someone just tell you what's going on and then not listen to you. And it's a thing. Yeah. If you know, you know. Yeah. If you've been diagnosed with anything, congrats, you got diagnosed, but you've been through the hard part.
Yeah.
The non-belief and the being told you're wrong.
Yes.
So,
well, and not being allowed to claim it until some doctor gives you it on paper.
Yeah.
Hard. That's hard. When you're like, no, I'm pretty dang sure that this is what's happening in my world.
Yep.
Right now. But even then, we've learned that, I don't know, like coming to discover our mission.
Oh yeah.
Or our purpose, really. Because we started the podcast and we had this idea that maybe, I don't even know, how did it come to be? What was the mission in the very beginning? Because we decided we were going to do it, right? It was like hey, we're doing a podcast now. And it was like, cool. Awesome, let's do it.
Oh God, I can't. There was a very specific like phrase that I said in the very beginning, and I can't remember what it was because I'm remembering our current one, like where we're at now. What was that? There was like maybe it was kind of what we're on, but not as well thought out.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Because the idea was to find people who were like us.
Right. Well, and learning that we ourselves were not alone.
Yeah,
was a big one, and I don't think we knew that that's what we wanted.
No,
but I know that we felt so alone in the world, and we felt so alone looking into like Facebook groups where things are either super clinical or like I don't know, like filtered.
Yeah. That's
through
a good way to put it.
Like the internet filter of it has to be like this or it has to be like that if someone's going to take you seriously. Or comparative suffering was a big one that we saw happening over and over and over again.
That drove me insane, the comparative suffering stuff.
But then it kind of became, once we learned that we were not alone, we kind of learned that we were making it easier for other people to find their people also. Yeah.
I think we got that first message. I remember exactly what it was.
Yeah.
That first message we got from Ruth was the catalyst for, other people are watching and paying attention and care and can relate.
We have responsibility.
It was lovely though. Like
it was. Oh my gosh.
It was such an experience, like such a positive experience for the podcast in general.
To be told that like you'd found your people in us, which was amazing, and then we were accepting that we had people in this,
right,
and that we wanted to find more. We were like, there's others out there, let's go get them.
Yeah.
And then it became to expose the suffering, expose our own suffering and the suffering around us, so that we weren't feeling so alone, so that other people weren't feeling so alone, so that suffering wasn't a morally bad thing.
Right.
Like it's okay to struggle and it's okay to suffer.
Yeah. Well, as we started opening up to like everything, because originally we're like, let's just stick to EDS, and they're like, well, we have mental health stuff, we could talk about that. Right. And we kind of we've gone into like chronic illness, and now we're just the experience of life, basically.
Right.
Because
living while ill.
Right. There's so much that people experience that they don't talk about.
Yeah.
But we all experience it, and we need to talk about it. Like, you're going to be isolated unless you let people know, oh, hey, I have this feeling, and they're like, oh, I have that too. It's not true. You're not crazy.
Right.
You know?
Right. And like, I remember getting messages too from people going, I burst into tears watching this one specific part because I really didn't think anyone else experienced this or would understand the experience of going through this. And that was hugely impactful to be able to go, okay, we're on the right path, we're doing the right things, because it really was about kind of discovering our purpose as we went. We
Oh,
were
yeah.
kind of pulling back the veil, right?
Oh, in every sense of the word. Like
Yeah.
with the tech stuff, with our mission, with like how we approached everything, even like we were just try it, throw it at the wall, let's give it a shot. Let's see if we can make this better somehow, or if we like this, if this fits better.
Right.
Yeah, the early days.
Right.
Heck of a ride. And we got to interview some really cool people. Like I still need to catch up with Harper.
I know. I was just thinking the same thing.
Like, oh man, he'd be so interesting to talk to again and have him on with some other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, especially talking about the meditation stuff, I think would be really interesting for some people who have the more chronic pain stuff. Like, I'd like to see that interaction really bad.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be interesting. And we were just talking earlier about getting all of our like older guests back on. And having We Miss Vizzy all the time.
A round table where it's not shot so everyone can be seen, but so that everyone can be heard at least.
Right.
Like we could have just open conversations with everyone here.
Which would just be so cool.
Yeah.
Catch up with everybody and see where everybody is now, because things change and evolve over time.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that we have and we do. And I don't know, it's such a strange experience to try to think back on who you were a year and a half ago and realize that it was completely different and how much you like change and evolve and grow. And for me, it was because I was at that point where I was learning, I don't know, I was still stuck in a lot of anger, I think. And so for me, it was like, I'm never shutting up again, but it was out of spite,
right?
Almost. And now it's like, no, I'm never shutting up again because I don't have to.
Right.
And that's not how we should live. And that's not how anyone should live. If you are struggling, call it out.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that was kind of a lot of our approach in the beginning was very spiteful.
Yes.
Just like out of.
We were angry. Angsty at the world because
we were.
I mean. We felt so alone and so isolated and just felt so many things that were like trying to cram us into one box or another box or and we were like, we don't fit and we don't want to be in the box.
Well, yeah, we had so many not boxes, so many things that didn't fit that we needed to something that did.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to think we kind of had it easy because we had each other.
Yeah.
And we've always been able to communicate.
Right.
Like we've always had the podcast in a sense.
Right.
We just didn't have outside participation.
Yes.
But I feel so bad for people who have to deal with this on their own.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know.
I was thinking about that in like the trauma sense too, because even like students, I can see anger there.
Yeah.
And even if they've got like a best friend or a sibling or somebody, but if they haven't experienced the same trauma the same way, there's that anger within that interaction. And even though they love and care about each other, there's still that disconnect.
Right.
Because you're like, you didn't experience that with me, and that sucks.
Right.
Not that you didn't experience it, but that you can't understand my experience.
Right, I was going to say, that comes with it. That you understand that they can't.
Yeah.
And that's painful. It just is.
Right. Well, and I experienced it, car accident.
Yeah.
Because Will was knocked unconscious and he didn't
have
remember.
Right.
And I had to remember. And so it was like I went through it alone.
Yeah.
And I didn't have anybody there, but I had somebody, but I didn't have somebody.
Right. No, I gotcha.
And I was mad at him for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I got caught in the feels.
It gets heavy.
The feels.
But, yeah, there's so much to it. And I think our own... So a lot of it was exposure, and then the next bit was growth.
Right.
And so for us, even just in the last few months, the growth that we've seen in ourselves and like in each other, I think is enormous.
Something that I just thought of too is that I've seen growth in the community.
Yeah.
Like I've seen people get more comfortable being open and getting support. Like it feels like in the beginning people were like, oh, well, here's my thing. And then they, just kind of left it out there and weren't expecting interaction. But now it's like people are like, oh, today I did this and it was horrible. And then people will be like, oh, I know how to fix that. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's just they've grown up and the way they handle things is definitely improved. Yeah.
There's an insane like network that goes on in there because you're like, if somebody doesn't have the answer, somebody else is going to.
Right.
Or at least you can commiserate together and be like, oh my God, I don't know what that is, but holy cow, it sucks. And I've had that happen before.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like connection after connection that's been made, and watching them interact is just really cool too. And watching them interact with our new arrivals to the Discord has been really cool too. Yeah.
Jeez, you guys are amazing.
I know. We've said it, I think, just continually.
It's true, though.
A year and a half.
Our little community.
We're never going to stop saying it because we adore you guys and think you're amazing.
Right. We don't. I mean, I take pride in it. Like, we did this. We didn't do it. You guys did it. Yeah. And you're why we're here now. Like, if we didn't get any of that input, like, we probably would have just stopped the podcast after about a year. You know what I mean?
Just be like, I don't know what else to talk about. I don't. Right. There's no feedback one way or another. Mm-hmm. And yeah. But it's just so weird because we never set out with that in mind.
No.
We never were like, I remember being afraid to start the Discord.
Oh, yeah.
And being like, oh my God, we're going to lose the thing that is our thing and it's going to not be ours anymore.
We spent like 3 weeks talking about it. And then Jen just did it. She's like, here. And we're like, okay, guess we launched this.
Okay. And then it grew.
Yeah.
It's like everything with the podcast. It's such a weird thing to think, but the podcast was born into existence of its own accord.
Right.
And everything within it seems that way.
Anytime we've had like a major change has been organic.
Yeah.
And it's not been like, oh, we're forcing it. It's just
it just is the next step, and it just happens the way it happens, and it happens that way for a reason. It's such a weird thing. We're like beholden to the podcast. But at the same time, like if we are patient and let the growth happen,
which I think we have.
Yeah. The growth is amazing.
The patience
crazy to see.
Is there. Like there are times we hit numbers and get stuck on them and we're like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it wears at you after a while because it's like, oh, I guess we lost it. Whatever it was that we had, it's gone. But then we hit it back. So
yeah.
I don't know. You about ready for a break?
My back is like, there we go. Oof. Yeah, we can take a break. My hips have been killing me. I've been having pain dreams.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys know, at least some of you know, like when you are asleep and you're so tired that you're not waking up to, because I was explaining this to the doctor too, the waking up to have to relocate things.
Yeah.
But when you're so tired, you don't wake up to relocate. You just feel the pain, and then in the dream you're like, ow, this is horrible. And then people in your dream are like, maybe you should sit down, and you're like, that didn't help at all.
Oh God. Well, it's fun because it's sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Pretty much.
Because you're so asleep that you're not awake to move.
Yeah.
And you can feel it.
You're dreaming about it.
And you want, if you could just roll over a little bit.
Yeah, no. Nope. No.
Yeah.
So my hips have been angry. And then getting off a plane the other day was rough. So we are going to go take a break.
Yep.
And I think, even the introduction of the breaks and how that's evolved, I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. And I love that other people know exactly what to do when we have guests on. And we're like, do you know what they're supposed to do?
Yeah.
And they do. And it's amazing. So if you're new and you don't know what to do, what do they need to do?
Venmo me $1,000.
Immediately.
I need it now. I need coffee. $1,000 of coffee now. No.
1,000 coffee dollars.
It's like that episode of Futurama.
Take my money.
No, he spends $1. He buys coffee with like this inheritance or whatever. Like they all win the lottery, and he buys 300 cups of coffee with it.
Oh,
it's just
that's me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But for reals, what you need to do is hydrate or dihydrate.
Indeed.
So please choose
Drink
hydrate.
some water.
I have been all episode.
Have a snack because you are a snack. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Take your meds.
Yeah, please do.
The alarm went off. You can't ignore it.
Speaking of,
you gotta take your meds. I didn't today. Don't be me.
I'm gonna fix this right now.
She's gonna take her afternoon meds. She'll be a good girl.
The med that I didn't take. Oopsies.
Well,
Oh no.
Everything's ruined now.
Okay. All right. There we go. I'm gonna do it.
If you're doing chores and you need a break, take a break.
Yeah.
Sit down.
It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be forever. You can take just a quick break.
Or
catch your breath.
If it's a big project and you need to walk away from it, feel free to. You're not. There's no rush. And if there is a rush, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Right.
I hate when that happens, but.
And if you're like me and you feel like you need to have like done something productive in the day, please remember that your value is not attached to your productivity.
I've had to tackle that the last 2 weeks a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it came up in my brain over and over again. Like, I've been watching people do things and I'm like, oh,
do a thing.
Your value is not what you're producing. Please stop. Yeah. You're allowed to exist and be happy.
You have value because you have value.
Yeah.
Because you are human and you're here, and that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's okay
to
just let it go. Walk away from the dishes. They'll still be there later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then if you can, find some sunlight or do something nice for yourself. Take a hot bath or sit over a heat vent like a cat. I don't know.
Sometimes it helps.
Fuzzy socks, cozy sweater.
Yeah. Just saying. Just putting it out there.
Get comfy. It's all right.
But yeah.
So we're going to go do some of those things and we will be right back.
Bye.
Bye. Hey guys, did you know that Fantastic Pains now has a website? On our website, you can find our shop where we will be opening up for custom t-shirts and orders there. You can also find access to our PayPal, winky wink. You can buy us a coffee anytime. We would love that. You can also see some of our blog articles, access to recent episodes and our TikTok, and get in contact with us.
You can also find a link to our Discord, which is getting updated pretty soon to include new channels and some games. We would also like to thank our producer for setting up the website. Thank you for supporting us and enjoy the rest of the show.
Indeed. Thank you.
Welcome back. How was your break?
Did you do the things?
Any of the things?
Maybe some things. I don't know.
I mean, you can still do them. Yeah. There is a pause button. You can really just, whenever you want, just stop.
You can do the things while you listen.
I've seen your analytics. I know how long you guys watch and where you watch from, so you can't lie to me. You can pause whenever. I know. I'm perfectly aware.
Great. Wonderful.
I'm not calling you out. Sorry.
Amazing.
Come back all aggressive.
Watch more.
200 of you that want to watch it over and over and over.
If you've been with us for a while, you probably know some of the ridiculous sayings that have come out of this podcast.
Yes.
Including the religions, because that's fabulous. We had a lot of religions that start.
And TikToks. Yeah. I don't know. See, if people only watch the podcast and they don't follow the TikToks, they're missing out on a whole backstory lore of everything that goes on. There's so much shenaniganry that happens in between takes.
Yep. All the time.
Constantly. I mean, here, look. See, all of these are our favorites. There's so many.
Talkies that we've pulled out.
Yeah.
Clearly, if you've seen our Teespring, you know about the Clean House and Hurt Body.
I really like that one.
That's one of the best ones, and it definitely describes something that I think all of us who are chronically ill go through, which is that, I'm frustrated that my body hurts. I'm going to make it worse and be productive.
Yep.
And then overproductive and make all the things terrible forever. But now I have a clean house and a hurt body.
I deserve a clean house and a hurt body. That's probably my favorite.
Yes. That's why it's on shirts.
It's why it's on shirts.
Oh, and then we had spoonery. We still need to make a stab at some spoonery.
Yeah, we also need to get that P.O. box going.
Jewelry. Oh yeah.
So people can send us spoons.
Make a note of that.
It's on my whiteboard. I see it every time I go to bed. I'm like,
I know it. It's the problem with word placement of things.
Yeah.
What
else?
Heck?
Spoonery, the religions. Shallots was a good one.
Shallots is a good one. We find them in the dark.
We eat them. Shallots.
Yes.
There were a lot.
There's a bunch. So go watch the TikToks and you'll see some of the
just Fantastic Pains at TikTok.
The dumbest stuff.
Like the last one that we posted where I accidentally had a personality.
That was great. We were on one. It was special. There's a whole other TikTok in the beginning of that one that we've yet to make.
Yeah.
And maybe it's gone, but oh well.
No, I think I still have it.
Oh, okay. Either way, it's fine.
I've been doing better about keeping them. The problem is, we have all these great TikToks, and it's like I can't get to them in the week, but I don't have enough storage to keep all the footage all the time. So I have to like process things through, and I lose some footage, but I have the originals, and it's a pain.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
There.
What's the next in there? Oh, there's so many religions.
What's
your favorite religion?
It was the Digidestined.
The Digidestined was.
I was so embarrassed about that one.
That was hilarious.
It came out of my face, and I regretted every second of it.
Oh, it was great. Oh. I loved it. The Church of the Digidestined, and the church of what is it? Suffrage.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was called.
I don't remember.
We'd have to go back and rewatch all the TikToks.
I don't know.
Just the random catchphrases that we've had.
Fantastic. Oh yeah, we've had a ton of just random ones that pop through. And I remember way back when someone asked us if we were autistic, because we have so many of the like echolalia that goes on between us. But it's really just the ADHD coupled with the sibling. Oh my God! Ignore my words. They're bad today. I don't know.
She's got words.
Siblingry.
There you go.
There we go. I found it.
She did.
And then we like to meme at one another
all the time,
forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then the memes go on and on until they're dropped from our brains, and then we
pick them up
find them later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Like Vines.
Yeah.
We got to go rewatch Vines all the time.
Oh, constantly. If I'm sad, Vines.
Mm-hmm.
Bathtub, Vines. We're just watching Vines. Vines that cured my cancer.
Exactly. Fixed my EDS. Vines that relocated my shoulder. What?
I'm going to curate a bunch of Vines.
You should. You really should.
I also really like the "you there."
Oh, yeah.
That's
the constant "you there."
Oh, it's fantastic. You're like, "You there, ill boy."
You there, surgeon boy. What? I love them.
They're everywhere. It's so great.
Yeah.
And then one time they all combined when we had you know who I love? Debo.
Debo didn't make the list
a long time ago. Well, it's because it wasn't so long ago.
No, it's true.
But Debo for weeks just had us rolling. Everybody else is like, this is stupid, and we're like, no, it's gold and it's wonderful and I love it. It's Debo. He wants his bones gone.
Debone me.
I want my bones gone. Thank you.
I'm in a bone prison.
in a bone factory.
You bone slave, free me. Take my bones.
Take my land.
Tell me I ain't eating sand.
See? Debo.
I could do Debo forever.
Debo's the best.
Debo's my default like background voice now.
I love it. Oh,
when I'm like
so
talking
funny.
to myself playing video games and I'm all alone, I'm like, yes, shoot me. Your bullets take my bones away.
That's fantastic.
It's just what I do.
Yeah. And then we had them all meet. So we had the Church of the Digidestined was there.
Yeah.
The religion of eating Cheez-Its on Fridays.
It's not a religion. It's a snack.
It's a snack. And you there.
Yeah.
And then what was my favorite one was
Existential
crisis man.
I hate him.
He's the best.
I love him,
He's fantastic.
but I hate him.
So
I love him, and I don't get why everyone else likes him. It bothers me. Like, nobody should like Existential Crisis Man. He's just
out there. He's like a supervillain. He's just out there like, hey, psst, nothing you do matters in the end. And you're like, oh.
My favorite one.
Oh, God.
Your mother never loved you. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Just whispering in people's ears. Yeah.
Love is a chemical reaction.
Hormonal only. And then he got really positive at one point.
Yeah, he had a
it was
good trip.
Cute. It was great. So
he had a good
go
day.
watch our idiocy.
Please.
I'm sorry, but I'm also not at all sorry.
We're trying to transfer them into like shorts, but a lot of them
Some of them are longer.
They're too long or they're too vulgar.
Yeah.
For YouTube.
Yeah.
So TikTok. I'm just saying. just go to TikTok.
Uh-huh. They're all there. So good.
We need to do a TikTok for 200 because we have one for 100.
Yeah. So
we need to do that before we leave.
Hello. This is 200. 200 what? I don't know.
I know. Trash pandas.
200 trash pandas.
Yeah.
Sounds like a really weird children's book.
Now I'm like, I could do that.
Now we've written a children's book.
We could write a children's book about EDS and being trash pandas. 201 trash. That would be. I'm gonna get on that.
Do it. Make some money so I can stop working.
Make the money, Chris. I don't want to work anymore.
It's hard.
I'd rather work on the podcast.
Yeah.
I know. I get you.
Yes. These are so good.
Yeah.
Some of them are just great. So we've had some really funny, ridiculous moments throughout the podcast.
There's a lot that got lost too, which makes me sad. But,
but
they're there in
we
our
got
hearts.
to have them.
Yeah.
And they were fun.
They were. There were some really great ones. Some very violent ones too. We were belligerent in the beginning.
We're always belligerent. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's true. But I mean, like, there were pillow beatings and smotherings.
Yeah. He tried to smother a stuffed.
I didn't try. I did.
Mochi.
Mochi, yeah.
He smothered Mochi one time.
I did. It's fine. Mochi's a pillow. Don't worry about it. Don't think Mochi's real. I mean, Mochi's real, but not a real cat. No, it's a cat.
It's a boy. What?
It's not a. It's fake. It's all fake. Nothing's real. Nothing matters.
Life is a lie.
Nothing
is real.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, we also wanted to talk a bit about like where we want to go and things that we're worried about, and just be real for the last half.
Yeah, because we've grown a lot, and we can identify a lot of that growth, and we've taken so many lessons with us and taken them really to heart. And I don't know, it's a different thing when you're sharing them with other people. It's easier to remind yourself of those same things.
Yeah.
One of our big catchphrases has always been like explicit communication, and that is a hill that I will die on.
It's important though.
It's so important, especially when you are chronically ill and maybe your spouse doesn't understand you, or your friends don't understand you, or your parents don't understand you.
Just having relationships while being chronically ill.
Yeah.
Being explicit, A+.
Yes,
way
absolutely.
To go. Because we've tried the not talking. We all have. Let's be honest.
It didn't work, and it made us angry.
Yeah, it backfired badly.
Yeah.
It always does.
Like, I don't cram things down anymore because then I'm not nice to be around.
Right.
I hate everything.
Well, and you get so resentful, like,
yeah,
not being understood.
You're like, how dare you not understand me, even though I haven't told you how to understand me.
Exactly. So it's just no good feelings there.
Yeah. And then we fall into bad habits like future telling and
I don't do that as much.
Thinking that we can guess what's happening in other people's brains.
That one, yeah. Especially with trauma brain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much. Yeah. But what are your hopes? What are your fears for the podcast?
My hopes and fears. Hopefully I don't have any fears.
No.
No, you can't get off that easy. Have a fear already. Why aren't you afraid?
Here's one.
I have tons. Like, what was the one we wrote down that was really good? The not being able to keep up.
Oh, yeah.
That, we're already feeling that.
Yeah.
On the daily. Like, we want to do so much. And between, like, you working and me not being well. And, I mean, I do stuff. I feel like I could do more, but I don't have the energy most of the time.
Yeah.
And I'm not, like, being lazy. It's not like it's
No.
the fatigue that, like, drains me from moving.
Yes.
Like, at all.
Prevents you from moving.
Right.
It's
you
like,
know
no,
what I mean? Like,
you can't get up.
I feel like that we could be further ahead than we are, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, but I like how we've gotten here.
Right. Well, and that's kind of my thing is, like, we never set out to have a bunch of views. We never set out to, like, be big on YouTube.
No.
It's right now it's something that we could kind of see as being achievable, but it's also something that was like, you can see it being achievable if all these conditions, and then remembering that, wait, oh yeah, I am chronically ill.
the whole crux of everything.
Work full time. Yeah. I have a husband and a house.
And then she went to work.
Exactly. And then she went to work.
Yeah.
But that's like life, dude. And
yeah.
While it feels, and I don't know, I think adjusting to the unfairness of how it feels, like, we could do all of these things, but we are handicapped in a very literal sense.
You want to talk about growth? Like accepting that we have limitations was huge.
Yes.
And being okay, like limiting yourself to them instead of trying to push yourself through everything.
Yeah.
Like we've gotten so much better about being like mindful of how much energy we put into things.
Pacing.
Yeah. So like, it's good that we're not pushing ourselves, but it's always going to be there in the back of my head. Like, you could be doing so much more.
Yeah.
There's you. Why didn't you do this? Why haven't you done this yet?
We'll call ourselves lazy a lot.
Well, and that's when it starts to become bad self-talk, and then you have to like change it.
Yeah.
It's like it's one thing to think about and worry about something. It's another to say that you're
right. Like to that self-blame.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm not doing enough.
Right.
It's like, I wish I could do more, but there are conditions that prevent that.
Right.
And I don't have control of those conditions.
Right. Well,
and that is where we're at a lot of the time.
I mean, that's where it was right before we got sick. Like we were talking about it before. Like I was saying, before we took last week off, not willingly, we were forced into it. But before we took last week off, I was feeling really pressured by myself to do things because, like, I have so many ideas, and there are so many great things that we can do, and I just have to. I need to have the energy and means. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was starting to like just weigh on me.
Yeah.
And it was just self-imposed pressure.
Yeah.
You know, no one's out here like, Chris, get it done, or you're fired.
There's a TikTok about that, actually.
Yes. Well,
Chris has a brain demon.
Several. You can eat them on TikTok.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, like after taking the week off, I feel a lot better. And breaking 200 was just nice.
Yeah.
Like that helped break me out of the funk, I guess.
Yeah. Having that, like, I don't know, because we fell into that like slump.
Yeah.
But we kind of knew why. There were episodes that we couldn't post because they weren't relevant to like the groups that we were trying to post them in.
Yeah.
Because how else do you share this stuff? And it's a lot of like word of mouth. But like those posts were really important for gaining more followers and getting people into the community. And so there were like 2-3 weeks where we couldn't post within the groups. And so that kind of stunted the growth for a while. And then finally we kind of came over that hump.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
So,
the other thing I worry about is letting people down.
Yeah.
Just in general. Because I really don't want to. Like, especially if we tackle some subject, I really want to like get to the subject and like figure it out.
I felt really bad about like missing lives.
Oh yeah.
The last 2 weeks. The last 3 weeks really. Friday lives. I'm so sorry. I love you guys a lot. Life happened to me and there was nothing I could do about it.
And life was belligerent and she
Yes. It was really bad for a while. But I definitely worry about letting people down there because I really enjoy, and I know we call them like parasocial relationships, but as far as I'm concerned, they're relationships, right?
Yeah,
like these
the
are
way
people
we approach
that
it.
we love and care about and speak to a lot.
It's parasocial, but it's not like what's the like modern typical. It's not like a typical. We're not out here like, hey guys, subscribe and like us and give us your money and remember I care about you. It's like we're like talking to you guys in the chat. We're in Discord. We know what's going on in your lives, and we actually are concerned when things happen. It's
and we want you guys to have as much participation in the episodes as possible too, because we want things to be relevant to you. We want it to be something that is useful and makes sense and something that we could break down in a way that reaches you the way it should.
Yep.
And so there is a lot of pressure to like tackle topics not necessarily carefully but efficiently in a way.
Right.
Because a lot of the time we'll like have a topic and then we'll circle around our main point
until we
finally find it. But there are some times where we end and we're like, I don't know that we did that justice.
Well, see, and that's those episodes usually go over well.
Yeah.
Because it gets them to the point.
Right.
They
finish the thinking.
Right. You guys follow along with what we're thinking, and you're like, oh, okay, and then you're able to fill in the blank that we're not able to.
Yeah. No, that makes sense too.
Right.
And
that's why I've gotten less harsh about those ones, because I'm
right.
like, I get it. We didn't come to like a conclusion, but we got the base work done so that maybe someone can come in and be like, oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Or we can come back later.
Or like bring in a different perspective at least.
Yeah, exactly.
To move that along. But yeah, I think a lot of my fears are not being able to put in enough, and definitely letting people down as a whole.
Yeah.
Like letting you down for one.
Never.
Or letting you guys down with like the lives. That hurt my heart, and I was like, I don't want to do this, but I have to do this, and it's terrible.
Yeah.
But
you've never let me down.
Well, good.
Never. There's never been a point where I was like, oh, she really should have been here for that. You know what I mean? Like,
slacker.
It's not like when we were talking on Friday and you were like, oh, I need to go and I can't. And I was like, fine. And you were like,
I was like,
but then Saturday, and I was like, it's fine. We'll make it work.
Yeah. Well, and we do, but it's one of those things. Like, this podcast is my baby.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to do the things I want to be able to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, everything within it is important to me because it's important to us, or it's important to you guys, or all of the above.
Right.
So I hope you guys know that there's a lot of dedication to what we do.
Hopefully it comes across.
Yeah. And that, I think, has grown as time goes on too. The more people we become responsible to, in a way. And by like responsible to, I mean that topics we talk about, we wind up practicing what we preach more.
Yeah, exactly.
More often and more consistently, and being able to remind each other of things, which is really helpful. Because we don't have all this stuff mastered. We are learning also. We just happen to be able to sit here and talk about it and reason through things. Hopefully in a way that makes them accessible to other people. Yeah. So
as far as hopes go, there's like a list of things that I'm putting on the board now, because I have a whiteboard that like tracks our progress and where we are, and it's at 100 I had like 3 goals, and we did those 3 things. We got the Discord up and running better, we got the website, there was one other thing on there that was like really important to me that we get done. Oh, we were going to reach out to a fellow podcaster, but we never did, because we're scared. We're afraid of other
afeared
of other creators.
Antisocial.
But not in like we're better than you. It's we're not worthy. I'm so sorry.
I don't know how you handle your thing, but we don't.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But like on that list now is the P.O. box for sure, because I really want to get that going sometime eventually.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Oh, the Patreon. People have been interested in doing the Patreon, our Patreon for Pain. And then what we're thinking about posting there is doing the longer episodes that you guys want.
Yeah.
Since more than 3 of you have said on more than one occasion that you require longer full episodes.
Yeah.
So fine. You know what? We'll do it.
I was actually thinking too about archiving the first season.
Yeah.
And making it accessible through the Patreon.
Yeah. Instead. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Because we have so much content too that I don't want it to be intimidating for people to just join. So I don't know.
What I'm thinking is I'm gonna curate season 1, and like the like really good ones that are like really relatable. I'm gonna leave those up and kind of just backlog everything else into Patreon. That makes sense.
Be good.
And
we're in
full episodes.
Season 5 now, which is crazy.
Yeah, and it's weird. The seasons work out kind of perfect, right? Like, cause
between like 16 and 24ish.
Yeah, and it's like sections of the year too.
Yeah,
and we didn't realize it was lining up that way until recently, but it is. So season 5. This is the season of, I forgot. I don't know. This season
of growth,
was
I think,
season of growth.
Yeah, the season of growth.
Challenges and growth.
Perfect. I came up with it. You'd think I'd be able to remember it, but I can't remember anything because brain fog.
What else was there? There was another hope I had, but I can't remember what it was.
Guests.
Yeah, getting more guests together. We need to do some more roundtable-y things.
Right.
And
then creating a get together of some kind.
Oh yeah,
that was what it was.
We were. This is just a thought that has been passed around, but wondering if we could do like a either like a digital like meetup where it's just like a live, but we do it long term and try and schedule it so a lot of people can join.
Yeah.
Or doing like a mix, like because I can take this on the road.
Right.
We could set up a live,
and we have a green screen.
Like we could set up a live somewhere.
Yeah.
And actually meet people in person. Like we could hang out and just talk about everything going on in our lives and just chill, you know, meet up, do a little meetup.
That would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be amazing.
Find like a conference room somewhere, set up so we could do the live and then people could just show up.
Yeah. My hope includes like getting that many voices piece back a little bit. We have a lot of people who are interested in coming on. We just have to set it up. And that's one of those like, why can't I remember to do this?
Right.
But we have to be kind to ourselves and remember that A, ADHD, B, brain fog, C, fatigue, and then D, like time.
Yeah.
Time and energy and planning ahead is not.
Yeah, there are like 4 people that we could get on.
Yeah.
That would be very interesting to talk to and would be really cool.
For sure.
We just need to do it.
That's the key.
Yeah.
To it all. But that's one of my hopes for sure. And then,
I'm down with that.
Yeah, get the guests back in. And then getting in contact with other creators, I think
We're such babies about that, though.
I know, because we're like, I don't know if they'll like our stuff. We're so weird.
Well, because we've reached out to people before, and, like, they were very sweet, but I feel like we were too much.
That or, like, our formats do not merge.
Well, I think that works, though. Like, if it doesn't have to be another podcast.
Yeah.
Like, if someone has a channel and we just meet with them online.
Yeah. I've even thought about doing like, I don't know, interview style for medical journal or something.
Yeah.
Of the kind.
Yep.
Something of the something.
Exactly.
So I don't know. It'll be challenges and growths.
Oh, and this is something we're gonna do. We're gonna add in a music review.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Probably after break. Yeah. So we'll come back from break, and then we'll review. Like we'll put ours in first next week, I think.
Yep.
And like we'll listen to as much as we can without getting like, you know, DMCA'd.
Yep.
But we can share links to it and be like, go here to watch or listen to this or listen to the song, and then we can talk about how we felt and what we got out of it.
Do you want to do like categories?
We could.
Okay.
Not against it. I mean,
so I'm like, what kind of music are we talking here?
Well, that's the thing. We could choose like categories.
Yeah.
Like be like, this is my when I'm really low music. This is my I need to wallow in it music.
This is my I need to remember that it's just right now.
Exactly.
Music. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you guys can suggest tracks that you listen to.
Yes.
And then we can review them and be like,
build playlists, and then you guys can pull whatever you want off of them. Be great.
I'm gonna write that down because the playlist thing is perfect. It's exactly what I want.
Yes.
It is the perfectest idea.
It'll be great.
Yeah. Anyways, while I write this down all sloppy because my hand's all shaky.
I know, mine too. I have tremor. It is bad.
Playlists. Okay.
He's just pretending to write. There's nothing there. It's not real.
And yeah, I guess as we wrap it up, is there anything that you guys would like to see? Anything? I know, like we're gonna continue doing the workout vlogs.
Yes.
We just have been sick and unable to do them.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was a suggestion, wasn't that Faye? Faye suggested that, and that was like brilliant. Like we should have thought of that.
Right. We thought of it. We were just nervous, and we never said it out loud.
Yeah.
We were like, that would be cool.
Sometimes we just need a nudge, you know, just be like, go.
Yeah. Well, and let us know what you guys want, because like I said, like this whole thing is as much for you as it is for us.
Yeah. So, exactly.
Let us know what you find value in, and we will try to produce.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to keep growing and changing. So hopefully we can keep going in directions that are beneficial to everyone.
Right.
And don't end up as like some evil channel where all we do is hate on doctors and we don't believe in medicine.
Yeah, we're going to teach people how to lie to their doctor. Oh, that article still makes me mad. Sorry.
No, I'm right there with you.
Stupid.
We're just teaching you guys how to get what you want, not what you need. It's literally the opposite of what we do, but whatever.
Also, has anyone here ever gotten what they want?
Never.
It's a question, and if you have, let me know how. So
are we talking about like in relationships? Because that would be great. What's the key to getting what you want out of your relationship? I don't know. I don't even know what I want, let alone how to get it.
Like, what is it that you want?
I want steak.
I don't have one.
I want steak dinner, and I'm not getting it. Sorry, Jen has mastered Ramsey's steak.
Oh yeah,
she like bastes it. And holy
they
God,
were beautiful.
They taste amazing. They're like they melt in your mouth.
Buttery goodness.
Oh, so good. And then like I crave it, and then I'm like, Jen, I want this. She's like, no, you don't get this. It's mine. You'll never have it.
You'll never.
It takes a lot of energy and time.
Yeah.
Because she makes a ton.
Oh my God.
Because Sophie really likes it too.
Really?
Sophie will eat like 4 of those.
Holy moly.
Like, you know, steak size.
That's a lot.
Little girl.
She's getting ready to grow.
Yeah.
She's almost as tall as I am.
Yeah. We were watching the TikTok with her in it.
I know, she was so little.
That was like only a year and a half ago. And she's giant now.
She's so tiny.
Yeah. So she wants to be on here. She wanted to be on today.
Oh, good.
So we'll get her back on.
Yes.
We'll do another kid update.
We'll have to get a lot of people back on.
Yeah.
But we'll have to like break it up into baby steps so that we know what we can do. And we're not looking at it going, yeah, we need to do those things, and then not doing those things.
Exactly.
So we'll have to put together like a game plan.
Organization. Lame.
That thing I'm bad at.
That we're bad at.
Yeah. All the ADHD.
Yep. All right, guys.
Fun times.
I think that's it.
Yep. I think we're going to call it for today.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. We appreciate you like immensely. We are extremely thankful for you guys and how you've pushed us to grow and change and evolve over time.
Yep.
And
the support, the what was it I was gonna say? Like the small things that you notice that we can change.
Yes.
I love that.
Or the small things you notice in general where you're like, you're singing.
That
time
was
to
hilarious.
Take meds. And I'm like, no.
That was
no.
A+.
That was amazing. But yeah, call us out. We love it.
Yeah.
Like
and like we said, we want people to join the Discord and you don't have to participate. Yeah. If you just want to get on and ask a question or suggest one thing or just read. Like going through what other people are going through. Right. There's relatable content.
Yes.
Like you can learn things.
Absolutely.
Or at least maybe come up with new strategies to approach things and things like that. So maybe
Well, and we have several elder trash pandas as well, and they have experience that we don't, and they know things that we don't.
Oh, absolutely.
And so there have been things where we'll be talking about something and one of our elders will pop in and be like, it's this is how you fix it, this is the doctor you should talk to, and we're like, heck yeah, man. That would have taken forever to reach on our own.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but it's cool because we get to just learn and grow together, and that is worth everything to me.
Yeah.
But we love you and we appreciate you, and thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for joining if you are new to our channel, and we hope we see you as time goes by. Feel free to participate or lurk, as we have said.
Yeah.
But it's time, huh?
It is time.
Be kind to you. Be kind to others. And we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Be mean to you.
No.
Be mean to others. And we won't see you ever again. Later.
Yeah, if you're mean to you and you're mean to others, we don't want to see you.
Get out of here.
Ever again. No, actually don't, because we want you to learn about good self-talk.
Oh yeah, how about you stick around and watch some episodes about self-talk?
Yeah.
I don't even know if people watch these. I don't know the
I don't know.
analytics on these because I've been adding these after the the like fade out.
Oh yeah.
Like it fades out and then there's like a few seconds and then I leave in what we do right after. I don't know if you guys even know about these.
Who knows? It's
I could look at the analytics, but I don't want it. They make me sad.
Straight up. Oh my god. Oh.